Newport, Rhode Island. I arrived in Newport on an Oceania cruise ship. We only had a day to explore, so I wanted to maximize my time and see as many highlights as possible. I'll share my day with you, and at the end of the video give suggestions for how you might want to spend a day in Newport. As I said, I arrived on an Oceania cruise, and we had to use tender or shuttle boats to get from the ship to the dock. I had originally planned to self-explore, however, I had a shipboard credit to use up, so I registered for a bus excursion to the Mansion District. It was scheduled for the afternoon, so I started the day walking. The shuttle boat dropped us off at Bowen's Wharf, which is right in the heart of historic downtown. I grabbed a map and toured around the entire area. The pleasant streets were lined with numerous shops, cafes, and novelty stores, with a few mini parks interspersed. There was a charm to the neighborhood that endeared me to the place. The old colonial buildings and cobblestone streets were quaintly appealing. Next, I hopped on a free local trolley that took me on a loop through town and the Mansion District. It was about a 90-minute loop that gave me a greater perspective on the downtown area, coastline, residential areas, and the Mansion District. I could have hopped on and off the trolley to see the historic mansions. However, I stayed on board because I figured I would be returning to them on the bus excursion in the afternoon. The trolley dropped me back off near Eisenhower Park, which is a little sliver of a park in downtown. A couple blocks over is another small park, Queen Anne Square. Very cute. I made my way back to Bowen's Wharf and discovered a boat show near the docks. There were some very fine boats and what looked like a lively area of cafes and pubs along the water. My planned excursion was next, and we drove immediately to the Elms House Mansion. We were given free rein to explore for about 45 minutes. The mansion was unquestionably grandiose. They had you enter from one side and follow arrows to systematically tour the various rooms. Some of the artwork and pictures were stunning. I especially liked the massive paintings, detailed trim work, marble fireplaces, ornate staircase, and this spectacular sunroom. Here are a few more images from inside the house. The house was stunning, but the outside grounds of the mansion were my favorite part of the visit. It reminded me of a mini Versailles. The backyard terraces down from the house with a magnificent sculpture garden outside the windows. There is a terrace on one side of the house and then a great lawn that leads to another magical area. There are two symmetrical gazebos and in between them fountains and gardens. I imagine this was a wonderful place where they enjoyed parties and outdoor meals. Very pretty setting. On the back side of the estate was the carriage house, and it was quite a grand building to house horses. After our touring time was up, we boarded the bus again and then drove along the scenic shore with the guide pointing out various celebrity homes, including Jay Leno's. We also drove by President Eisenhower's summer home. Our final stop was at Fort Adams State Park, which sits on a peninsula across from downtown Newport. We couldn't go into the armament, so there wasn't much to do except enjoy the beautiful views and this old boat, which was docked in the harbor. A little Newport history. 9 families settled in the Newport area in 1639 looking for religious freedom. The town is rich in history with some amazing historical homes and mansions from the Gilded Age. There is a successful Newport Restoration Foundation that has done a magnificent job of restoring and maintaining Newport's historic buildings. All this is evident as you tour around the city. I thoroughly enjoyed my sunny day in Newport. However, I do have some advice for first-time visitors. If I had a do-over, I would not have booked an excursion, even though it was free for me. Since there is a free trolley that takes you to the Mansion District, the Shopping District, and the Cliff Walk, I would suggest touring with it. It was somewhat like a hop-on, hop-off bus, but with no narration. You will want to do a little online research first to figure out where you want to get off the trolley, which does make announcements before each stop. I was only able to see the one mansion, which was striking, but I heard other people say that there were other mansions that were better. The Elms Mansion that I visited was the only one that was not on the coast, so I assumed the others would have glorious sea vistas. The trolley is a very short walk from the pier, so it was very convenient. If you have questions, feel free to ask in the comments section, and please subscribe to follow other destinations on this trip. For senior and solo travelers, check out the Senior Solo Travel website and the Facebook forum, where you can interact with other travelers. I have included links to both in the description. And if you would like to follow my senior and solo travel journeys, please like and subscribe. Next stop, Bermuda.